The word that will absolutely be fulfilled is the 3 verses of Deuteronomy 10 to 12. He found himself in the desert and in the howling wasteland of the wilderness. He encircled him and cared for him. He kept him as the apple of his eye, like an eagle that stirs up its nest, that flutters over its young spreading out, its wings catching them, bearing them on its pinions. The Lord alone guided him. No foreign god was with him. We're worshiping together, and just last week alone, 13 nations had given worship at the same time. There are people in the Oneness Hall giving worship together. There was great competition going into the Oneness Hall as well. May we make the confession of faith. May we go out for the absolute gospel nature. Let us make the confession of faith. It is okay even if we are thrown away in the desert land and the wilderness. The confession of faith is very important, not having anything to do with my state. In one way, you making that confession of faith, that is the real you. So I really want to believe that the prayer that Hyunwoo did, that would be his prayer. That is his original image. So your confession of faith is so important. With that, the title for today is, It is okay even if we are thrown away in the wilderness and in the desert land. Last week, the title of the message of the pulpit was The Grace of Being Set Apart. So we have been set apart in meetings such as senior pastor, being able to challenge on for the complete gospel nature. It is a miracle and it is great grace. As I continue to listen on to the word of Galatians, I'm realizing true liberation and true freedom. What is very scary about the word, as the word is light, as the word that is saying that it is true liberation and freedom, I thought that I was free, but seeing the true liberation, I see things that I am bounded upon. Like how when you see a real check, you'll be able to know what is that fake check is. Being able to see that. Do not be afraid, but may you be thankful, because you have to find everything. God has chosen us. God has no reason to choose us. But He has chosen us to know the gospel, realizing that there is a real problem amongst all the problems that we have. Leaving God is the real problem. It is the problem of not being able to win the devil. Although the process may hurt a bit, realizing that we are a sinner that cannot meet God, making us believe the real answer, Jesus Christ. This is the grace of being set apart. Even a doctor, a person who has a PhD, or a government official who has so much education, they cannot know this true life. It is something that was hidden before. Not being able to know with your tears or efforts. God Himself had let us know of this. It's not that you go to church diligently, but it is that God had made you become set apart and make you realize this. He has made us realize this and has given us life. Why do you think so at this time of the young adults? Even by percentage-wise, it doesn't make sense. Why you? There are so many churches of the WCC, but meeting a church that only speaks of the only gospel, the young adults, they have no strength. So this is kind of sad, but it is difficult to find young adults within the church. So it's not something that we should be happy of, saying that we have a lot of young adults. The pillars are missing. So why is it that God has chosen us so that we'd be able to be restored of the original image? Is it simply saying, do it diligently, establish something, show them? No, it is not that. Why were we chosen? It is to really give us freedom. He really is the God of love. It's not saying, hey, I called you, now do it. It is to enjoy this freedom and not be bounded by anything. To enjoy that. It is to be free. That is why the young adults have to just enjoy the gospel. Listening to the work of Galatians, I was reminded of the book of John Bunyan, The Pilgrim Process. It is a book that records of a character named Christian that had come out of the castle of destruction. And it is a book that records the covenant journey within that. The book is really good. He goes into a hill of condemnation. It says, you did this. How can you live like that? You can't keep the word. You have to live a good life. It was really good as a book, but because you don't read books, it came out as an animation last year, and we saw it together as a mission. And I saw it together last year too. And there were young adults saying they were sorry and were in tears. And there are young adults who live as new creatures of life saying they don't remember that. But the highlight of the movie was a scene where he had the main character, Christian. He was passing through the narrow gate. He was walking into the way of salvation. And the highlight of this movie was a scene where Christian had a heavy burden that was unseen to the eyes. And the burden was getting heavier. And he had to enter the narrow door and then to go up the hill to the cross. And it was very tiring. So it's like that for us too. Not giving ancestral worship, fighting the spiritual battle with your families. It is difficult. But he was just walking towards the cross, looking at the cross. Christian did not even know that he had those burdens on him. But by that light, that burden had come off his shoulders and went into the grave. And then he goes up to the top and says, I'm free. And I think this is the highlight of the movie. And I knew of this book when I was young. And it is not just saying, as I believe in Jesus and believe in God, I feel a bit relieved. I feel that my heart is more at ease. This may have been your understanding when you are young, but as time passes by, you come to realize that that is not everything. It is not just that standard. The more you realize the gospel, that is not it. What is within that burden? It has all the spiritual problems of Genesis chapter 3. That was the start of leaving God. all the things that was not of the gospel, what you thought and had the misconception, all the rotten things that would save you. That was oppressing me. It's not that I did something wrong, but it's that I was leaving God. And then I was putting on the burdens, being imprinted with that. So look at the people of the world. The more they are aging, the more they mature, they fail. Look at Jim Carrey. He makes many movies, giving funny movies, The Truman Show, Bruce Almighty, The Yes Man. He had suffered from panic attacks, depression all his life. And he said, I wish everybody would earn a lot of money and be wealthy to know that that is not the answer. People don't know. Satan oppresses you with those burdens. That is what the world is going through. You have to be able to see that, to know how valuable this time of worship is. That God is not happy of anything else, but that He is happy when you give this time of worship. So when you go to travel to your families, are you not going to give worship? Why is a person like that? Why did that person commit suicide? Who wants to do that? It's that they are oppressed. They want true freedom. Non-believers think taking off the burdens is suicide. That there's no one who commits suicide because they're happy. They do everything wanting to be free. So when you look at your spiritual eyes and look at the field, then you cringe. I really like animals. So in my profile picture, I have a golden retriever. And of course, I can take care of him, but I don't want to take them on walks or look after them. Think about an animal that is caught upon a trap crying. Even if it is not your dog, then you cringe. No one is happy looking at that. Oh no. How should I help them? That's what you think. That is what you should feel like when you're looking at the field if you are the young adults of Yeon Church. How can you not feel anything with this answer? So upon all the non-believers, your families are going to nag you a lot upon money, your name, your place in society. Your parents don't know who you are. They don't know that you're the king-like priest. Your families are living because of you. That's why they are not being cursed. You have to have that pride. We have true freedom and liberation from all things. Nothing can oppress you. Look at the flow of the pulpit message. Doesn't it give you chills? It is an opportunity. At the time of the young adults, it is the time to go another. So looking at the flow of the pulpit message, it astonishes me. Even though there is no problem, it is that battle. The Armenian theology says, even so. So I was thinking, I gave a very theological seminar, a word. So I became very classy by efforts, plus the word. That is nothing. But all the people of the world They're saying Jesus Christ plus good deeds, plus ethics, plus morals. That's why you have disasters. But God has called you, being set apart, giving you the only gospel. So as we're going into this book of Galatians, you must be resoluted upon this. May you be complete gospel nature and meet the new year of 2022. So who are we? It is all within the title of today's message. We're looking at the second journey of the 7 great journeys. We're looking into the 10 mysteries. What is the 10 mysteries? It is the spiritual independence, spiritual truth, cognitive thinking, synergy, opportunity, no competition, ours, the spiritual summit, and today, the mystery of the wilderness, becoming the good soil. So, today's title, it is plagiarism. In my heart, I would say this to you. You probably don't know and remember that there was a missions conference, but we had it in May. The 2375,000 people group missions conference. And he had said this as he was passing by. And he said, it is okay even if we are thrown away in the desert land and the wilderness. And then that's when I said yes. This is today's title. We are the children of God. We who have the gospel, we who are righteous and clean, even if we are thrown away in the desert land and the wilderness, it is okay. It's not our mentality that is okay, but our identity. We cannot fail. By today's word, may it be a special Korean Thanksgiving, saving your family and family line. How can we say that it is okay? Is it just words to make us feel good? There may be some of you who think that you're not in the wilderness or in the desert, but in a very good environment. But it's that you don't know. You have the experience of being thrown away in the desert land and wilderness. Number 1, God who came into the wilderness. Deuteronomy 32:10 reads, He found himself in the desert land and in the howling taste of the wilderness. He encircled him with care. He kept him as an apple of his eye. So we were originally sinners. We were unable to meet God. It is the state of a fish leaving water, the trees being uprooted. It is a state of wilderness, the desert land. Nothing can save me. That is our background. We were sinners who have left God. The state of spiritual wilderness, the desert, it is the state where nothing can restore me, nothing can save me. In the middle of the desert, the wilderness that the beasts cry upon. It is so scary. In the middle of all things, when things are trying to devour you, you had in your hands people and ambition. But it is like a child being kidnapped. But if he has games and treats in his hands, what's the use of that? That's what we were like, having specs, efforts, backgrounds in our hands. They call unto me. This is what Satan has said. Thus, there is no choice but to fail. You have to look at this field. There are so many fun things, but people are not having fun. There are so many safe things for safety, but they are not safe. The characteristic of the wilderness and the desert is the more time passes, it is difficult. It is more painful. Without hope, being dragged by Satan. To me, God has found me, and that is the transcending love. So as I was preparing for this word, I had so much strength. And as I was preparing for this word, I was almost in tears. Being in the desert and the wilderness, having no light. Have you ever passed the desert? It is so scary. Even when you're driving with the lights on, you can't see anything. I don't know if I am in the wilderness or in the desert, but someone comes to me, and that is Romans 5:8. But God shows us His love, for while we were still sinners, Christ died for us. When we're in the wilderness, when we're in the desert, not even knowing that it was a desert, thinking this is life, He came to us, not asking for anything, not wanting anything. You thinking, oh, this is life that's supposed to be like. But I want this, I want that, and people are fighting for that. Amongst the people who are in the wilderness, they're saying, who's better off? People want to be free, they want to be happy. But there is no joy and satisfaction within that. And knowing it, later they know that they are a child of the devil, being bounded by fate, fortune, and destiny, having unwanted pain and suffering. People unendingly look for something new, but that void cannot be filled. They look around and find other people to be like them as well, so they think that is normal. As time passes by, there are more worries and concerns. And what is most sad for me, that non-believers say, it is, we can't do anything about it. It's their answer. What can we do? They're in the wilderness. They have no answer. I can't love myself, but it is God who came to me. It's not that He sent us something. Sending a food truck. It's not that. He came to us. He came to us and asked for only one thing. What is that? John 1:12. But to all who did receive Him, who believe in His name, He gave the right to become children of God. Accept me. Believe in me. Believe that Jesus is the Christ. Then the life of the desert land and wilderness is the end. I will embrace you in my arms. There's nothing to boast about. Do you have a lot to boast about? I really don't. If there is one thing, what is that? It's the faith that believes that Jesus is the Christ. You can boast about your faith, that I believe in Jesus Christ. As I believe in Jesus Christ, all my problems have been finished. There are no requests, as He has solved everything. He had paid the great price on the cross and have come as the Holy Spirit and made us His child and wants to be eternally with us. This is the transcending love of God. I have saved you, so you have to do this or that. It is not that, but saying just one thing. Let's be together. What does it say in today's passage?
여호와께서 그를 황무진 짐승이 부르짖는 광야에서 만나시고 호위하시며 보호하시며 자기의 눈동자같이
He protects us until the end.
끝까지 호위하시고 보호하시고
Upon His eyes. I think the eyes are most renowned out of the body. If there is dust in it, tears come out. So if you have dust inside your eye, then don't rub it because it will come out by itself. So you don't have to interfere. You're not doing anything, but God is protecting you. With that grace, we have become children of God. And even with that grace, we are with God. He is protecting you and looking onto you and protecting you. Even when you have the time of holy meditation upon this, you will be free. If you have dust upon your eyes, then are you going to close your eyes for the rest of your life? No. Because He is watching you, all you can do is boldly make that challenge. What did I do? Nothing. but it is the love of God that has come upon my life that was like in the wilderness. And He looks at me with His love even right now. That is why you don't have to worry about anything. Upon all those who are giving this worship on Zoom, you don't have to worry about anything. Don't worry about anything. Amen?
아멘. 좀 아멘. 안 할 거야. 왜?
But why am I
근데 나는 연약하고 문제가
still
많은데
weak?
자꾸 염려하지 말라고 하냐? 라는
But why should I not worry about anything?
32장 11절을 합동하겠습니다.
Deuteronomy 32:11 reads, like an eagle that stirs up its nest, that flutters over its young, spreading out its wings, catching them, bearing them upon its pinions. Moses expressed the love of God as love of an eagle.
보금자리를 어지럽게 한다고 했어요. 자랑하는데 어지럽힙니까? 자기 보금자리 그 둥지를 엎어버리는.
An eagle messes up its nest.
아니 좀 보금자리 좀 더 크고 안락하게 해주지. 그 뭐 아기 독수리들 있는 그 보금자리를 왜 뒤집어 버립니까? 발로 차가지고.
Why do you believe in Jesus but keep on having problems?
왜 자꾸 어려 봅니까?
What does this mean? He loves us, so why can't He make our nest big and comfortable? Believing in Jesus, why do we face so many problems? Christian, in the movie, he takes off his burdens but then meets problems again. If a baby eagle is only at its nest, it will not know the power and authority of the eagle. God gives us various problems and incidents to all the young adults. To us who want to live average and normal lives, He allows situations that we do not want. Why is this? That is why we must know that the only way that we will know of the power of the gospel is this. This is what has been granted. Why? Then you'll be able to know the power of Jesus Christ, the authority. Then you'll be able to know that it is this power of the name of Jesus Christ. Then whoever, wherever you are, whether it is in the wilderness or in the desert, He will give us this power to save. That is why we are thankful when we meet a problem. Oh, I don't want it. Whether you want it or not, God is giving you that problem so that you'd be able to experience that love, like an eagle. If you look at the clip, you see the baby eagles being pushed off the cliff. And then the mother eagle swaps its baby under its wings. He is with us upon hardships. And He is giving us this spiritual training. With joy, may you say amen. So that's why we continuously give you the training. We have the mission week. This is not a training. But do you think it is not a training? It is not a training, it's just missions week. But is it true? Is it merely just that? There is no fee. Then are you going to not have any devotion for missions? It is the evidence of love. Because we are eagles. Because of our non-gospel nature, because of our old frames, although we know we oppress ourselves and are deceived. But God does not leave us to be and is with us until the end, making us know of our identity and authority. He does not give up on you, so try to bear until the end. when we flap our wings, when we try with our might, although at times my spiritual problems block my way, God is still with us. He does not give us up until the end. He continuously gives us new strength. When we fall down, He picks us up. He does not leave us alone. When He picks us up with His wings, it means that He has called us as the summits from the start. God has picked us up with His wings right now. Flap your wings. With the word by the evangelist, by the senior pastor, God is telling us that we are the eagles, the children, the king-like priest. He will give us new strength. Even so, when we fall down, then what do? He embraces us upon His wings. If we fall down, He will pick us up again. He will not leave us so that we would fall and fail. Him picking us up with the wings, that is calling us as the summits, the spiritual summits from the start. Right now, God is making us to be in front of, on top of His wings. There are some people wearing the Korean traditional clothes. What if we are going to fall down again? It's okay. That is the love of God. Do not make mistakes, but only believe in God. I am at a state of spiritual wilderness. May you believe and challenge on believing in the love of God that is like the eagle. This is the original blessing. From the start, you are a child of God. But you lost it from leaving God. During the time of the young adults, He has called us to be the eagles. It is to conquer, rule, and restore to our original image. By the training, it's not saying do well, but it is saying let's be together, let's give worship together. May you remember that you're on top of my wings. It is so rightful to make the eagles live like the eagles, like that. God makes us live like children of God. Within Jesus Christ, all is within that, and only by Jesus Christ we are complete and righteous. So you have this strength when you have the time of holy meditation upon this. So you have nothing to worry about. I am the child of God, the spiritual eagle. So with that strength, what must you do? Should you just eat well and live well? No, it is finding those who are thrown away. Those who are thrown away in the wilderness and in the desert. They are waiting, but they do not know. So we must save them. That is why we have been called to that field. It is the wilderness. People are bounded by what to wear and what to eat. It is the evidence of being within that state. There are so many people like this. So do not be oppressed by other people's naggings. They have nothing else. They live as spiritual slaves, oppressing others and condemning others. They do not know what scars they have, and they say, oh, so-and-so got married. So think of it as a radio and just let it go. So don't go against them. Just give them food in their mouths. There's so many like that. Spiritual slaves, oppressing and oppressing others, condemning others. If you go home, although it has been a while, you will feel that not much has changed. Why is that? They don't want to do that, but they do it. And it was said in the pulpit message. It is the after effect of the other gospel, the mixed gospel. They have indigestion of this. The after effect is very scary. You don't know when it will get better. The after effect of a car accident is very scary. People regret it and are bounded by it. That's how they live. Oh, I should have done this. I should have done that. I should have done stuff like this and that. The field is like that. From the wilderness in the desert, they drink and eat anything. The only water, the only stream is Jesus Christ. But people drink other things. There is no other gospel. That's why Galatians 1:7 reads, not that there is another one, but there are some who trouble you and want to distort the gospel of Christ. And Deuteronomy 32:12 reads, the Lord alone guided him, no foreign god was with him. There is no other God. The demons cannot protect you. So do not do exorcism, do not give ancestral worship, because that is the way of destruction. Even if it sounds good to people, there is no other gospel other than Jesus Christ. There is no other gospel than Jesus Christ that makes me a child of God and saves me. But Satan deceives people so that they would not know this. But do you think we're all the same Christians? The WCC, the Armenian doctrine, doing good deeds, making it sound like we have to do good things. When you hold on to the gospel, Satan deceives you. So that's why you have to break down the forces of the gospel, the devil. So if people say only gospel, they say, why is that person saying this? You have to acknowledge me. Of course, what you do is good, but we all believe in a God. Why do you keep on saying that person is bad? That person is a good person. Listen to his teachings, it's good. Let's live a good life, everyone happy together. So that's what people who look gentle come out and say. The Muslims, only the extreme Muslims commit terrorist attacks, but there are those good Muslims. So acknowledge me, don't hate on us. We believe in God too, that's what they say. Even if it sounds appealing, without Jesus Christ there is no other gospel. Do not be deceived. Even if you go to church, there are people who go to church for your greed. Christ has finished everything, all is within Jesus Christ. But people keep on saying still, my pride. Then I oppress myself. Oh, it's my fault. I'm lacking. That is being conned. Does that look humble? Oh, because I'm so lacking. That's not what the Bible says humility is. Being meek and humble. It said Jesus Christ has come as man and had been crucified on the cross. It's not saying, oh, I'm sorry. I'm not saying to greet others in such a way. So you have to look at the Bible from the perspective of Christ. So because of the mixed things, there are many people who are not free, being oppressed. Satan oppresses you until the end. Satan oppresses those who are oppressed and pushes them upon the ground more if they're oppressed. But may you hold on to Christ today. Upon all things may you make Christ your master. So you have nothing that is lacking. So why did God give you problems? To give you true liberation and freedom. Then He will guide you to the way of the evangelist. Why do we say 237 nations and 5,000 people groups is that they are oppressed? They are frozen. Who is going to set them free? Being oppressed by spiritual problems themselves? As I am having the time of holy meditation and the gospel, I pray that I would be able to preach the gospel where nothing is a problem. When I meet them, I say it. Pass by me and I will say it, even when we meet in the bathroom. So I receive so much grace. So I say, Pastor, let's have a free time of holy meditation. Jesus Christ, the answer to all problems. So there are people in your family who are going to be able to listen to this gospel. There are people like this. You might think that there is no one who is going to listen, but there is. They're thrown away in the field. May be able to preach the gospel to them. Preach the gospel that will set them free. Freedom, oppression, liberation. Do not be oppressed. Do not worry. And may you have that faith and look forward that this is the work that God will do upon this time of Thanksgiving, and look forward to this answer. This is the conclusion. When you think of the word Thanksgiving, you may be reminded of the smell of the various food. Everything is fried, so it is high in calories, so you should not have so much of it. What is our goal upon this time of Thanksgiving? It is sharing the fragrance of the gospel, the source of the fragrance of the gospel. What is the source? So I was in the grass and Yawon had the smell of manure. And I said, is it coming from your mouth? And he said, no. So I pulled the window down, and then there was so much of that smell. So I kept on questioning, is it from your hair, your feet? But it was actually from me. I stepped on manure. I don't know if it's manure or dog poop, but I came home and I had to rub it off with a toothbrush, and Stan was saying, hey, it's Youngwon. And I felt so bad because I was keep on saying it's from your hair, and he kept on saying, oh, is it me? But if you step on manure and if you put on perfume on that, it will rot and it will smell worse. But what is the source of the smell of the gospel, the fragrance of the gospel? It is Jesus Christ, the answer to all problems. Those who believe in this has the scent. If you really believe and know of it, even if you don't say anything, it is not that you don't say anything, but if you really believe in this, you'll be fragrantful. Then there are no worries. It's not doing anything. All you have to do is have this. Those who have been waiting for this fragrance, the remainder will come. Just confirm this for 10 minutes in the morning and edit it. 138-2425, eternity. When you pray with that, He is with us 24 hours, making the masterpiece of 25 and eternity. Then those people will be able to say, I'm okay, you're okay, everybody is okay. Nothing will hold me back. It's I'm okay, you're okay, and everybody is okay. It is okay. Whatever it is, tell it to your cousins, nephews. The hearts will open. Give them allowance within Jesus Christ. How can everything be okay? It's okay. I'm free and you're free. We can save everybody. If you cast it onto Him, He will save you. You must enjoy this. True freedom, true liberation, 24 hours. 24 hours is nothing else. God who is still with me, the answer to all problems. By Him, I have been made righteous. Thus, nothing, even if it may be death, cannot be a problem. That is how complete we are. If we enjoy this, we will be fragrantful of the gospel. Even if the field of the desert or the wilderness, you will be able to show off this fragrance of the gospel. May you be able to enjoy this week. Be the gospel nature. Only Jesus Christ is my master, my king. Upon the times, the places of the wilderness and the desert will still have victory. He had made us His child. So nothing will be a problem for you. May you be the young adult who has this fragrance of the gospel.